So you're joining me post shower after a run on the treadmill. That is why the hair is a bit wet, but we're going to get into the business straight away. We're currently in short positions on AUDUSD. So I'll put up a screenshot of the positions so far, and I'm going to go through the whole trade from basically start to finish, because this is a swing trade. The last video was based on a day trade, so I'm going to show you kind of behind the scenes of my swing trading. My aim for the swing trading, as you guys have probably seen, is 1 to 2% per month. That's it. So as long as I have 1 or 2 winning trades per month, that could include a loss too, I'll be at my target pretty much. I'm not trying to push for 5%, 10%, 15% in a month. I just don't think that is sustainable long term. And I'm trying to keep this account at minimal drawdown. So I had 2 limits set today, one on GBP/USD and one on AUD/USD. So on the screen right now, you can actually see the positions. So you can see the sell limit on GU on the left and the sell that's currently active on AUD/USD here on the right. So it's kind of the same kind of situation. But if I just show you here, so obviously on GU, we have like this trend like this. So we're currently in a downtrend, whereas on AUD/USD, we were kind of in this uptrend. Not that I use trend lines, for example, but you can kind of see that they're the opposite. But we're still looking to sell both, because when price breaks like this and then retest in, we look to sell. When price breaks like this, breaks all these lows that created this push up and retest in, we look to sell. Obviously the GU1 hasn't been tagged in, and the AUD/USD one has, and we're in slight drawdown, but only a couple of pips in drawdown on this trade, which again doesn't really matter. We're 3 pips in drawdown around that sort of area, and we're about to go into spread hour anyway. But the good thing about having larger stop losses with the swing trading, the spread hour doesn't really affect you. Obviously you get swap charges, which aren't ideal, but if we're making 2-3% on the trade, risking 1%, it doesn't really matter too much. So that's kind of the situation right now. I'm going to hold these overnight, and I'm going to give you an update in the morning. But the past 6 months of trading on the swing account, we are currently up 8.69%, with one losing month of 0.89%. So the worst month we've ever had is minus 0.89%. So on a bad month, we don't even lose 1%, which I think is pretty good. And overall, our drawdown is only 3% total on the account. Obviously, this is calculated on my FX book. That's kind of where I have it set up, and that's where I look at the stats. I do journal it in Edgewonk too, but everyone kind of sees my FX book as this universal way to show your results. I like it, and I kind of don't like it. The main reason I like it is you don't have to put in any information. It just automatically connects and does all the stats for you. The one reason why I don't like it is the stats can be very misleading. So win rate, for example, on my day trading account, I'll have a set win rate on my FX book, but my win rate actually can be higher or it could be lower. And this is quite annoying because people just judge it off of their MyFX book. They judge the average win, the average loss. But let's say you have 4 wins, 1 loss, and 5 break-even trades. Those break-even trades and that 1 loss will bring the average trade or the average win or loss down massively. This can be good, obviously, if your loss is coming down on average, but if it's a break-even trade, it counts it as a win or a loss, even if it's £1 in a win or £1 in a loss. It can count this towards your results, obviously, and your averages. Whereas in your journaling, you can say, okay, this was a break-even. We made £4 on it, for example, a random number, but it's a break-even trade. So not counting that as a win, even though we did make a couple of pounds. So that could affect your win rate, for example. So the stats that you definitely need to look out for, and not kind of be misled from my FX book showing you that you have a higher win rate and then you think you can risk more, you think you can lower your risk to reward, but in fact, you're not actually as profitable when you're not winning as many trades as it may tell you. So definitely something to keep an eye on if you are one of those traders. So what I'm going to do now is going to have some dinner, some nice spinach and ricotta tortellini. We have to eat pasta, especially after Charles Leclerc's win yesterday. You've got to support Ferrari, especially when it is Charles Leclerc, Forza Ferrari. So yeah, pasta, sleep, wake up, check the charts. It's Tuesday, so we could be day trading too, but we'll see tomorrow morning if there are any setups and if we've been stopped out on this trade or maybe even hit take profit. Okay guys, so it's currently the afternoon on the Tuesday, And in the last clip you saw, I said that I was in a trade on AUDUSD and that GBP/USD missed my entry. And we have some updates on those positions. So GBP/USD ended up not tagging me in. Price now has dropped around 65, 66 pips from where I was looking to enter, and we missed my entry by around 1.9 pips, which is very annoying. We would be up around 1.8% on the trade, but that's completely fine because we did get in that AUD/USD trade that I previously mentioned. At the time that I filmed the video last night, we were around the entry point, in slight drawdown, which was fine, and it was just going into spread hours, so I was completely fine holding the trade overnight, as it is my swing trading. And what ended up happening was I woke up, checked my MT4, and it's the best feeling when you open your MT4 and there's no trade there, and you see your account balance has gone up. That is the best feeling. And the account balance has gone up because the trade had hit take profit overnight. So if I just show you on the charts here, you can see that this is the trade. We had a break of structure. So if we just go like this, you can see that I don't trade with these sort of channels, but it's just easy to show you that this breakdown here broke this area of structure, this structure here. It just makes it easier to visualize for people. You could say this level or this level or this level. People see structure differently. One will say one of these areas, one will say another, but it's kind of even easier because it broke all three, especially this bottom one here with a nice break of structure. So then we obviously get in on the retest to look for price to go lower, and I just targeted this level here. If we draw it across just like this, around this level, if we straighten it out, there we go, for a 1 to 2.13, which is again a nice amount of profit. 1 to 2 risk to reward. If you have a good win rate, that's completely fine. If you have a 50% win rate, 1 to 2 risk to reward, that's amazing. So that was the trade. It's good when you wake up and the candle's just been like that. I went to sleep as price was coming into the entry or coming into profit at around midnight. Then obviously the next candle, and we hit take profit before 6 a.m, which is great. And if I show you the MyFX book now, you can see that we're going further to the upside. We're now at 10.92% on the account. And if I just show you down here, you can see that the consistency is amazing. And on a strategy, you want to be consistent. I could have an account where 1 month is 2%, the next month's minus 7%, the next month's plus 19%. It's completely inconsistent. I want something that is consistent. The loss sizes are the same, the wins are the same, a good month is the same, and I know that on a good month, I'll make 2%, 2 to 3%, and on a bad month, I'll lose around 1%, or so far less than 1%. So we're 7 months in, and we've made just over 10% or nearing 11% profit. Obviously, the absolute gain is different because of the deposits. So on the actual account balance, we've made 10.92%, which is great. And as you see, this week and this month, up 2%, and this year up 10.92%. And you see that out of the 30 trades, we only have a 47% win rate, but because the average win, in pounds is over double the average loss, it means that we can be very profitable. And as you see, 66% longs won, 33% of shorts. But yeah, it's been quite successful. And AUD/USD is a pair I used to trade back in 2021 and going into 2022 as well. So it's a pair I've had experience with. And I've noticed from my data that when I find a pair that has been successful in the past for me, I'm able to make more profit in the future too. So you can see here that this trade in the journal software is the trade for this month. And if I just go through the previous months, because obviously here you can see that the results, but you don't see how many trades I'm actually taking. So last month we had 4 trading days. One was break even, and these 2 days I ended up losing. You see 2 losses is 1.4% negative. 3 losses is minus 1.78. So when I'm in a losing position, I notice it very quickly, which is a very, very good thing to have in your trading. When you know you're wrong, get out of the trade. That's the best way I've actually been able to make more profit on this strategy. Then when I'm right, I make 4%, I make 2%. It's just great. In the previous month, you see one trade, slightly under 1% loss, and then win, 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 win. This was pretty much break even, but it counts as a win technically. Going to June, 1 loss, 1 win. Again, the wins outweigh the losses massively, which makes it profitable. And if we go back, 0.96, 0.64, and this month was actually the losing month, as we see here in May. But again, the losses, I'm trying to keep them quite small, and unfortunately this wasn't a full win because the trade did become invalid. If we go back now to April, you see win here, big win, slightly smaller win, and then 3 losing days. And then the first month of the strategy, we had 1 loss and 1 win. Yeah, it's been great so far. And as you can see here, we have the different pairs. I'm not surprised in the slightest that GBP USD is the most profitable pair, because I'm used to trading GBP USD. We see that GBP CAD is also quite profitable, of just over 4%, but also, you know, we have minus 1.4% here on GU because they actually changed the name of the pair, which is, you know, I don't know why they did that, but you see some pairs we're actually losing on, and some pairs we are winning. You know, even if these pairs 0.7%, 2%, 1.1%, you know, it all adds up. Just think, okay, out of those 11% of profit I've actually made, you could have been like, oh, well, EU, it's only had 1 trade if you're doing your back testing. But that means that almost 10% of my profits is from that 1 EU trade. So I don't want to miss out on that for obvious reasons. And you see that, yeah, overall it's profitable because of the risk reward according to the win rate too. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to journal the trade, just write down what happened to the AUDUSD trade, and also if you see here on GU, what happened to this trade, because I want to know if there is a way I could have gotten into the trade. Is there a way? Obviously, as you see, the target was actually this level here for a 1 to 3 risk reward, and it is dropping now perfectly, but we were 2 pips away. How could we have gotten the trade? Maybe we did everything perfectly and we just didn't get tagged in. That's completely fine. So that is what I'm going to do now. It's 5 p.m. and hopefully we get some more trades on my day trading account, but nothing so far for the week. And yeah, a very successful day.